Hello, Westford. Staffers at the Roudenbush Community Center are packing up their offices and getting ready to move. We tell you who's playing at this year's Blues N Brews Festival. And we feature a nonprofit school formed 3 years ago for students living at Graniteville Woods. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Zoning Board of Appeals members approved a clock tower for camouflaging an approved 130-foot cellular monopole plan for Brookside Village. On August 7th, the board members chose one of 3 clock tower designs and voted unanimously to forego the option of a working clock. Here's town planner Jeff Morissette explaining what it would take to have a clock that works.
So one of the things that the technical expert indicated that a functioning clock would likely not be RF invisible. In other words, it could potentially interfere with the functioning of a carrier. So the options were, if you wanted to have a clock at or near the top of the tower, it would either have to be non-functioning, so it would be decorative only, and that could be RF invisible, or if you wanted it to be a functioning clock, you would have to actually allow for a higher tower so as to allow for a functioning clock. The alternative would be to authorize a functioning clock as high as practical in the tower below the lowest intended carrier.
James Kaseniak proposed keeping the clock tower at the same height as the monopole instead of building a camouflage structure that would be about 15 feet taller.
My question would be, is at 140 to 45 feet off the ground, is it worth having a functioning clock versus having the thing be shorter by that amount? And have a non-functioning clock? Is anybody going to look at a clock that tells you the right time at 145 feet off the ground versus keeping this thing at 130 and taking that thing 15 feet down?
That's the board's call, yeah.
You can find the entire meeting at WestfordCAT.org. Here's our news director, Joyce Polino-Crane, with a highlight from the Selectmen's meeting.
Thanks, Ira. Selectmen voted unanimously on August 8th to award the requests for proposals for the lease of 3 town-owned buildings to the Roudenbush Community Center Incorporated. Assistant Town Manager Eric Heidemann said town officials and Roudenbush board members will continue to hash out the final lease agreement this month. Working with Town Council and Town Manager Jody Ross, Heidemann said that he anticipates the lease will be signed by the end of the month. The nonprofit Roudenbush organization currently has its offices at the 65 Main Street building, which will undergo renovations beginning September 15th. Roudenbush also runs programs at the Roudenbush Children's Center at Frost at 73 Main Street and the Roudenbush Children's Center at Nabnasset at 170 Plain Road. Town officials and Roudenbush board members agreed to a 5-year lease, with the town reserving the right to negotiate lease extensions of 5 years each up to a maximum of 20 years. The current lease extension ends June 30th, 2020, and a new 5-year lease would cover the organization until 2025. Here's Selectman Elizabeth Almeida stating her position on the use of the 65 Main Street building, and Selectman Mark Cost, who led negotiations explaining the terms of the lease.
You know, I hear about the town building needs, and I'm concerned about, you know, this 26,000 square feet being tied up for another 5-year lease if we need that. So for me, that's a big question that I would like the community to answer. I'm not sure if that's something we can answer or the permanent town building committee needs to be part of that. Mark.
Yeah, so I can, I think, address some of that. So part of the thought of certainly the 5-year with 3 5-year options TRCCI has already referenced that there's a possibility that the old NAB might not be something that they are in need of beyond year 5. TBD, not sure. And what the 5 years provides, we certainly, in my opinion, we're not ready to suggest to the town that we have better use in the next 2 or 3 years, nor do we possibly have the money to do something else with those buildings. So it's not to suggest that the school committee might not want one or more of those buildings in 5 years, 7 years. But this first 5 years certainly provides a lot more airspace for things to get figured out that currently aren't figured out now. So there's no commitment necessarily beyond the next 5 years of the lease.
Watch the entire Selectmen's meeting at WestfordCAT.org. Back to you, Ira.
Construction is set to begin on the 120-year-old Roudenbush building on September 15th. Let's check in with Patty Pichette, Executive Director of the Roudenbush Community Center, to learn where she and her staff will take up residence while the 65 Main Street building is being renovated. Here she is with News Director Joyce Polino-Crane.
Patty, where are you going? Where is the staff? Where are you all going to be situated after the move?
That again is bittersweet because many of our staff are being laid off. I believe it's a total of 27 people that we've had to lay off.
Out of how many do you
Out of
employ?
67.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, and that's due to programs closing. Because of the move, we've had to put gymnastics, continuing education, and our before and after school program on hiatus, at least till we come back.
And those are your 3 big money makers?
All of our programs do well. Those are 3. And so 3 out of 5 is a lot of programs.
What's left then?
We have childcare that will be staying in Frost at 73 Main, and we have our preschool program, which will be staying at 170 Plain Road.
Okay, so, and then the offices will be occupied where?
Our administration office are going to 234 Littleton Road, Unit 2G, and we welcome people to come. I've always had an open door policy, and that's not going to change.
Well, that's nice. How much space will you occupy there?
We have 5 offices and 1 very large boardroom and a reception area.
WestfordCatNews.org has been following this developing story since it broke in March. Subscribe to our newsletter to keep up to date. Music organizer John McKinnon sat down with our production coordinator Patty Stalker to tell us about the great blues bands performing at the Blues N Brews Festival on August 19th and 20th. Here McKinnon identifies the headliners for both Saturday and Sunday.
So the headliner on Saturday night is Nikki Hill.
Correct.
And she is out of?
South Carolina.
Okay.
And then just before her is Anthony Gomes. He's very much like a Stevie Ray Vaughan, Southern Texas guitar player, dresses the part, the whole thing. Very good guitar player.
And like you said, so that day, so Saturday is going to be more of the guitar.
A little bit, yeah, probably a little bit more good. Yeah.
And then
rocker style.
Rocker style.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I think you said the headliner Sunday. You wanted to get him to play last year, but it was logistically it had come in too late.
It didn't work. He was playing at another festival solo, and to bring his band in for the following day to play our festival, logistics didn't work out. The money didn't work out. So.
And what's his name?
Victor Wainwright.
Victor Wainwright.
So he plays in a separate band with headliners from other bands, and they have a super blues group.
Yeah.
And they play all over the country as well. Again, tight-knit community. So we had already worked it out last year that he was going to play this year. It was just a matter of does he play Saturday or does he play Sunday, and part of that is based on his schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say what works best for
Right,
him.
exactly.
Doors open at 10:30 a.m. both days. You can purchase your tickets at bluesandbrewsrotary.org. Westford Cat will be recording highlights of the event for later viewing on our channels and at westfordcat.org. Main Street from Depot Street to Providence Road has been closed to traffic between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the better part of this week, while excavation work was conducted. In the meantime, curbing and sidewalk construction work was scheduled to begin on Wednesday, August 9th, at the intersections of Main Street and Boston Road, and Lincoln Street and Boston Road. Construction is expected to take from 1 to 2 weeks. A town notice warns residents to expect delays and to take alternative routes. Town engineer Paul Sterrett could not be reached for comment, but WestfordCAT will keep you updated on the roadway construction and detours. Julie Wysocki, a certified dementia practitioner, and town social worker Allison Christopher visited the WestfordCAT studio on July 20th to tell us about a new initiative they're launching called Dementia Friendly Westford. The idea is for a network of volunteers to keep an eye out for those living with dementia or showing signs of dementia. A kickoff meeting will take place on September 28th at 2 p.m. at Net Scout on Route 110 for anyone interested in getting involved.
But we really need the input from other leaders in the community, what they're seeing, people that are living with this every day, what their needs are. I mean, is the number one thing the checkout at Market Basket? You know, is it at the bank? Where are they seeing the biggest struggles and challenges in town? You know, even Holly at the Fletcher Library is on board.
Yes.
That's a very important sector. People need to, they're living with this disease a very long time.
Yes, yeah.
And that really, people need to know that it's not a 2-year sentence, terminal. It's a terminal illness, but they can live a very long time and can still have a very vibrant life. And I find it very rewarding to be a part of that. And I think the education can be very empowering to support people that are caring for loved ones.
You can contact Wysocki at jwysocki@seniorhelpers.com to sign up. WestfordCAT is rolling out a new addition to our news program, our feature Story of the Week. This week we're highlighting the GVW, standing for Graniteville Woods, School Limited. When Westford's Color Fest took place on the town common this July 29th, many of the volunteer organizers came from a small community of learners in the northern part of town. For the past 3 years, a group of parents have been quietly running an enrichment program for students living at the Graniteville Woods residential development off North Main Street. The goal of the GVW School Limited is to prepare local students for success by having parents and high school students teach the skills they use in their personal and professional lives. The school was founded by resident Chairo Kamitkar, who is its principal, and it began with the formation of a Destination Imagination Team, a hands-on system of learning that fosters students' creativity through open-ended academic challenges. Areas of study include iOS app programming, yoga, robotics, physics, and much more. Classes are free and offered throughout the year, including the summer. Colorfest offered participants games, music, dance, food, and the opportunity to play with colors by throwing powders on each other and in the air. The colors symbolize various aspects of life and nature. The GVW School sponsored the event. The GVW School kids also participate in several charitable activities, such as volunteering for the Nashua Soup Kitchen and Shelter, and raising funds for other charitable causes, said Colorfest lead organizer Keaton Dave. This year, the school won nonprofit status. Here's the latest news from Town Hall.
Hi, I'm Jody Ross, your town manager, and I'm here to give you this week's update. We did get a proposal to sell the town farm from Yule Development, Inc., and we are in the process of negotiating a purchase and sale. He wants to take that over, and there's a historic preservation, and we'll be happy to see what he comes up with that plan. He also put in a proposal to renovate the 12 North Main, which is the old anodizing mill located on North Main. And so we are evaluating that proposal right now, but very excited that he expressed interest in that. A couple other things going on. The Board of Selectmen at last night's meeting discussed the procedure for appointing members to the Finance Committee. There was a very interesting discussion, and the board will be talking about this again on August 22nd at their meeting. I think they're looking at establishing a study committee to take a look at this and decide if the way we currently appoint finance committee members, which is through the moderator, is the way they want to continue. So stay tuned for that. Our new center fire station construction, or at least the land part of it, has started. They are hitting a lot of rocks out there. You can see them when you drive by. We will be having a groundbreaking ceremony, but I do not know the date of that yet, so stay tuned. And our combined dispatch center is nearing completion. I am told that will be opening in September. Then we will have one dispatcher, well, there'll be a couple in the room, but that will answer your 911 call, and we will streamline our delivery of services in response to those calls. So that's what's going on this week, and thank you very much for tuning in.
Here's Rekha Sharma with this week's health tip.
Hi everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma, your Ayurveda practitioner, back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Ayurveda is a science of life, helping you heal in natural ways. Today I'm going to talk about rosemary. Rosemary is also called compass plant. It is highly aromatic and used in soaps, lotion, creams, perfumes, incense, and decorative purposes. Rosemary oil is also used in hair lotions as it prevents premature baldness and dandruff. It is antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, and a natural antioxidant. It improves digestion and circulation, thereby helps in lower blood pressure. It also stimulates bile production by the liver. It is used in aromatherapy for long-term stress and chronic illness. Rosemary is a natural stimulant for the brain. It calms the mind, reduces palpitation and headaches. So use rosemary in your routine to get the benefits. If you have any allergies to rosemary, please contact your healthcare provider before using. I'll be back with a new health tip. Bye for now.
And now, let's go to Joe Seppi with this week's weather forecast.
Hello, Westford. This is Joe Seppi with the weather forecast for this weekend in the week of August 14th. We have more about summer weather and with the temperatures in the comfortable range of upper 70s to low 80s. Here's what's coming up. That was the Westford weather. Have a great week, everyone.
Dale, a 3-month-old rat terrier mix, is available now for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's Patty Stalker with more information on how you can adopt a loving pet.
I am always impressed with the staff and volunteers at the Lowell Humane Society on Broadway Street in Lowell. They are so dedicated to finding forever homes for the pets being cared for there. Roger Logeman is one of those very special volunteers.
This is Dale. Dale is about 3 months old, a rat terrier mix. Dale and his brother were abandoned in a crate and picked up on the side of the road by animal control, and then after a week or so brought over to us. Dale has just been here, 2 weeks, so he came in last week of July. His brother's already been adopted, and this guy is waiting to find his forever home. He still is very much a puppy. He's past the worst of the chewing shoestrings and pants cuff stage, but he'll still do a little of that. Come here, buddy. Hi. Oh, I know. He's very people-oriented, loves the attention and handling. Yeah, I have no shoestrings today, so sorry. You remember your trick? Huh? Come here. Which side do you want to be on? Over here. Dale, come here. Come here. Now over, over. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. You want to do that again? Huh? Let me get on this side now. Come on. Over. That's a good boy. So when Dale is full grown, he'll probably be a 12 or 15 pound dog. He's not going to be a big dog. He has that beautiful, interesting spot in the middle of his back. Would you sit up here with me? Huh? You want to come up here and sit? Whoop. Well, come on up here. Atta boy. That's a good boy. How about we do it this way?
If you'd like more information on how you can adopt Dale or any of the other pets available now for adoption, or to find out how to donate, volunteer, foster a pet, or fill their wish list, go to lowellhumanesociety.org or visit them at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781. For Westford Cat, I'm Patty Stalker.
Here's Patty Stalker with suggestions for things to do around town this week.
Thanks, Ira. It's not too late to enter the Summer Fun Fest photo contest. WestfordCAT, Westford Family Fun Fest, and Whole Foods are sponsoring a seasonal competition asking you to take photos of your vegetable, fruit, and flower gardens and submit them to funfest@westford.org through September 1st. Voting on the WestfordCAT Facebook page will run from September 5th to the 10th. We've published the details at westfordcatnews.org. If you have any questions, you can call us here at the WestfordCAT Studios at 978-692-7152. Friday is family-friendly movie night at Forge Beach, courtesy of the Westford Recreation Department. The next movie will be shown on August 18th, beginning at dusk. Bring a blanket, chairs, and bug spray. Forge Beach is located off of Pleasant Street. For more information, visit westfordrec.com. I'm sure you've heard that laughter is good for the soul and yoga is good for the body. Well, both are good for the mind, so why not practice them together? Westford Laughs Laughter Yoga Club meets every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the First Parish Church. Its core premise is that your body can and knows how to laugh regardless of what your mind has to say. There is no registration, and the class is free. For more information, call 978-692-8350 or visit laughterisit@gmail.com. I'm Patty Stalker, production coordinator and editor at WestfordCAT. Back to you, Ira.
And that's it for this week, Westford. We leave you with images of conservation planner Carol Gumbart and a group of volunteers removing invasive Eurasian water chestnut plants at the Stepinski Well on Beacon Street. We'll see you next time. Steve. Many of the volunteer organizers for the better part of this week while excavation. Excellent, Smithers. WestfordCAT would like to issue a retraction of that previous statement. The clock will be correct twice a day. Bow, 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 bow. I can't get no enunciation. Dale, a 3-month-old rat terrier mix, that's part rat, part terrier, is now available for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. It likes cheese and chasing cats. I don't know, sorry, go ahead. I gotta entertain myself somehow.